Welcome back to the channel. We are here, day 2 of 3 of the videos I have in line for you guys. So come back tomorrow for another video. And I'm not going to lie to you, this video is a little bit low effort, just to bridge the gap between the 2 higher effort videos I have for you. Basically what I'm going to be doing is something completely different that I've never done on the channel before. So if it sucks, I apologize. But let's be honest, most of my videos do suck. So go check them out. Now, I'm just going to be reading articles today. Probably only on Dragon Ball Z. I guess you'll be able to tell by the title, because that is my #1 anime. It's what I grew up on. Don't shit on me just because I love Dragon Ball Z. It's my childhood, okay? It's nostalgia. I love it. But I'm going to be reading negative articles on it. We're going to see how I react. Maybe I'll agree with it. Maybe I'll shit on it. We're just going to have some fun. And if the video sucks, oh well. Watch to the end anyways. So, first article up. A Hood Classic. 16 reasons Dragon Ball Z doesn't hold up no matter how much you love it. And boy do I love it. #1, The Great Salmon. That's a weird one to start on. This guy was in like 20 episodes. But anyways, they say the story of Goku's arc. The story arc of Goku's son Gohan was originally one of the best things about Dragon Ball Z. Agreed. Gohan was the Carl Grimes of his day. Don't know who that is. Wait, Carl Grimes. Is that Walking Dead? Honestly, Carl wasn't that great. Anyways, transforming from annoying whiner to hardcore badass with his literally one-handed destruction of Cell. Gohan followed up all of this character development by quickly turning into one of the show's lamest characters. I mean, listen. So Gohan, I do agree that, in my opinion, honestly, after the Cell Saga, Dragon Ball Z should have just ended. I think that was the perfect ending point for me. I mean, we all like money, right? So he made more, and the direction he went with Gohan, I think it made sense for his character. At the end of the day, what was he fighting for in the Cell Saga? You gotta remember, his dream was always to be a scholar. That's what he wanted to be when he grew up. He didn't want to be a fighter. So the fact that he became what he wanted to be after the Cell Saga, he started going to a high school and actually like learning what he wanted to learn and doing this little side gig on the side. I don't think Great Salmon is as bad as people say. And I'm going to be honest with you, Dragon Ball Super Gohan is way worse for me. Oh my god, let's not even get into that. But Great Salmon, I disagree with you. No matter how much you love it, yeah, nah, let's move on to the next one. Only a few of the characters actually matter. You know, that's probably like most anime, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I see the 3 they put on the picture, I don't even need to read this. So these characters, Tien, Chaozu, Yamcha, they were, you know, they're pretty useless after Dragon Ball. And I do wish that these guys had a little more to do past Dragon Ball. I mean, after the Saiyan Saga, they really didn't do anything. I liked how they contributed in the Saiyan Saga though. That was good. And when they died, I honestly thought maybe they should have just stayed dead. You know what I mean? I find myself agreeing with this article. I thought I was going to be shitting on it. But they're not really wrong. It's just that it doesn't really matter to me. Because the main focus started to be the other characters that came in. The Vegetas, the Trunkses. Even Piccolo is still shining a little bit up until the end of the Cell Saga. So these guys kind of dropped by the wayside. And I didn't mind if they didn't get as much screen time. And maybe if in Dragon Ball Z, I know this is going to be on the list. But if dying wasn't such a useless thing. Let's see what the next one is. Is it dying? Oh wow, dying doesn't matter. Okay, yeah. So if dying didn't matter so much, or if dying did not matter at all, I think if those characters died at the end of the Saiyan Saga, that would have been a perfect... Let me close this fucking ad. Get out the way. What are you doing? I think that those guys' deaths in the Saiyan Saga would have meant a lot more. It would have been so much more interesting end to their character rather than they just drag on and on and on. And don't get me wrong, I love those characters in Super. I love just having them there. But at this point, it's kind of just nostalgia. So yeah, #3, dying doesn't matter. Yeah, we agree. I love it and I hate it. Let's move on. #4, there's so much filler. False. Hold on, just give me a second. Now, we're on the filler site. 13% is filler. Now, that's not low per se. For a 90s anime, that's actually not that bad. That's, you know, 280 episodes or whatever it is. That's actually not that bad. Most of it doesn't really get in the way. Like, for example, for Bleach, if you watch Bleach, the filler literally gets in the middle of the story arc and it's so fucking annoying. I hate it. That's why I skip it. For Dragon Ball, the filler isn't really that annoying. It doesn't get in the way. What I will say it does get in the way of is there's filler that's like during fights. So it's not technically filler, but when they're staring at each other for half an hour, it's basically filler. Let me see if they say that in the article. Every event seems stretched far beyond its natural limits by endless buildup and countless diversions to the main plot. So that's kind of what I was saying. During the fights, they'll just be staring at each other for 25 minutes. And it is really fucking annoying, I can't lie. I think if Dragon Ball Z was recreated today, it'd be way doper. And I'm not talking about Dragon Ball Super. I think at this point, the plot doesn't matter in Dragon Ball. But they also go on to say even worse were the episodes that were completely meaningless, like filler, like the time Goku got a driver's license. A lot of people love that episode. The driver's license episode, I think it's okay. But a lot of people love it. So the fact that you're shitting on it, don't do that. Okay? Next. I feel like this video is going to be half an hour long. Villains quickly become powerless. I mean, that's kind of the point of the show. It's just like to get stronger and stronger and just improve. So when villains are left behind, I don't know how that makes the show any worse. So yeah, I don't really think this point matters. I'm going to be honest with you. Villains quickly become powerless. That's basically needed in shonen anime where there's power-ups and when there's types of powers like Dragon Ball and Naruto and all this stuff. So is this a good point? No, but I won't downvote you because that's a waste of my time. Speaking of wasting your time, why don't you subscribe to my channel and like the video. Number 6, useless side characters. Okay, basically the same as number 3, so number 2, great. So I don't need to read that one. Number 7, dying permanently doesn't even matter because the afterlife is pretty sweet. So then why'd you say dying doesn't matter is a point? Okay, we're getting to the filler of this list. Speaking of filler, we're getting to the shitty, just repeating yourself. Okay, we're just gonna skip that one. Number 8, things escalate way too quickly. Okay, the tendency for former villains to quickly become obsolete is emblematic of one of the major flaws at the core of Dragon Ball Z, escalation. Everything in Dragon Ball Z escalates in a ridiculous exponential fashion. Over 9,000 meme refers to Goku's power level, which astonishes Vegeta and Nappa. And then we meet Frieza with 1 million. Goku and children with power levels well above that. Blah blah blah. Super Saiyan transformation. I mean, in Dragon Ball Super days, yes, I agree things escalate way too quickly. I don't even know if that's true because at this point, I think they know they're just in it for the fan service. The entire show now, Dragon Ball Super, and the manga is basically just fan service. But back in Dragon Ball Z days, I think that the transformations, you might not like them, but I think they were done at the right times. Super Saiyan, I think it was done at a perfect time. Gohan Super Saiyan 2, perfect time. Fit the show perfectly. Super Saiyan 3, I know people say is useless and nothing ever happened with that, but I still really liked it, and I thought maybe if Gotenks, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and Gohan were like the ones to defeat Super Buu, then the Super Saiyan 3 transformation could have had more of a role and it would have been cooler. But I kind of disagree that in Dragon Ball Z things escalate way too quickly. That's what makes the show what it is, and that's what makes people love it. It's the fact that it just keeps rising and rising. It's just when you have a manga or a show that's continuously rising and rising, at some point it's going to get really annoying. And I think that's where we are in Dragon Ball Super. Even though I still love it and I still watch it, it's a little much now. Number 9, fusion caused so many plot holes. Okay, I gotta read what they say for this one. The whole concept of fusion in general is poorly handled. The fusion dance was overused and had to be nerfed, and its replacement was the more powerful but apparently permanent application of magical earrings. We learn later it's not permanent, but we'll allow that because that's what it used to be permanent. These earrings were supposed to merge their users permanently, leading to some difficult decisions, but every time this pair decided to fuse, they managed to get out of it with some convoluted plot twist. What do you mean every time? If you're talking about Dragon Ball Z, it happened once. For example, Majin Buu's stomach acid miraculously reversed the permanent fusion process. Okay, so when was this article made? Hold on. 2020. Stefan, buddy, did you not watch Super? Because I know in Dragon Ball Z they say it's permanent, but in Dragon Ball Super they kind of retcon that. Bro, these ads gotta fuck off. In Dragon Ball Super they retcon it and they basically say it's not permanent, it's temporary for mortals, permanent for gods. So the fact that you say that doesn't really make any sense at all. Number 1. Number 2, every time a pair decided to fuse, so the one time they decided to fuse in Dragon Ball Z with Potara earrings. So you're just kind of like grasping at straws here for points. I don't know why you needed to get 16 points. 10 would have been enough, but... And then, okay, this next point is just plain stupid. Like, what is that even? That says, for instance, by the end of the series, Piccolo is technically 3 different people. He fused with his ancient counterpart Kami early in the series, and later fused with fellow Namekian Nail in order to take on Frieza. Try to watch... Wait, what? No, he later fused with Nail. No, he fused with Nail first and then Kami. And, okay, so... Nice. Try to watch Piccolo's scenes knowing that there are 2 other guys sitting around inside his head all the time. Bro, what are you talking about? It's not weird at all. You're weird for thinking it's weird.
Eggs for dinner isn't weird. You're weird for thinking it's weird.
10. Getting hurt doesn't matter. I don't mean... It's kind of like any show with protagonists that you know aren't going to die because they're the main characters. And that kind of goes hand in hand with dying doesn't matter. And I think the important thing to remember with Dragon Ball is that it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you just gotta accept it doesn't matter, like, who gets hurt or, like, what happens. You know that the main characters are gonna win. Even if they die, they're gonna come back to life. You know that's how it's going to be. You're just in it to see how it's done. And I don't know, it just, the forms and transformations and the attacks, those are the cool parts of it. Those are what keep you interested. So getting hurt doesn't matter, like, not really. You're kind of right, honestly, I can't lie. But that's kind of with any shonen anime. Because at the end of the day, we know they're going to recover. But it's not like getting hurt doesn't matter, because people do die in the series. But that just goes back to the point of dying doesn't matter. I'm not going to go all the way back up. Number 11. It became a self-parody. In the end, Dragon Ball Z became a show in which ridiculousness grew as exponentially as its characters' power levels. The thing it was criticized for early on in its history soon became over-exaggerated and impossible to ignore. Did you think too much time and focus was put into powering up? No, that's pretty much the point of the series later on. Entire arcs were soon built around it, though that the ability to bring someone back to life was a cop-out. Let's make that even easier. Was the sheer amount of training and preparation too much for you? The show invented and introduced a hyperbolic time chamber so that the characters could train for years while only days passed in the real world. In short, Dragon Ball Z became a self-parody. Like, not really. Nowadays, maybe. It's kind of not a self-parody, it just knows what its fans are there for. And it knows it's dragging on too long, so it just keeps powering up. But I think back in the day, maybe in the Dragon Ball Z and the Majin Buu saga, it got a little bit, I wouldn't say self-parody, but it got kind of, you know, too much. But I think all the way up to the end of the Cell Saga, which the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, that's when it was introduced, I think it was paced pretty well. I'm not going to lie to you. I think for me, transformation-wise, power-up-wise, I think it was paced well. I think it was done well. And that's what I think. Next point. This video is going to be 50 minutes long. Jesus Christ. Number 12, the bad dubs. This video is getting too long, so I'm just going to give my quick point on this and say the dub, I think voice acted very well. I think written pretty poorly. That's it. Let's go. Next point. 13. Everyone old is a pervert. That's every Japanese anime ever, especially back then. Next point. 14. It's outdated. In many ways, Dragon Ball Z is a product of its time. The extreme action and outrageous hair were definitely a 90s thing. However, some parts of the show were outdated even when it aired, and these aspects look even worse in 2016. Mr. Popo, I mean, I don't know about Mr. Popo. I read somewhere, or maybe I'm wrong, that it was like based off some type of Buddhist thing. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and I'm throwing shit out there. I don't know if Mr. Popo is racist or not, so because I don't know, I'm just gonna leave it at that and let's go to the next point. 15, the fusion dance. You already talked about fusion once, so what are you saying this time? Unfortunately, the process by which characters fuse was incredibly goofy, consistent of yo, that's the point. I love the fusion dance. Don't tell me you've never thought. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, I've never done the fusion dance, like actually with somebody, but it's definitely been in my mind. Like, it'd be silly and goofy and freaking weird as fuck to do that with somebody, but low-key, deep down, I kind of want to do it with somebody, you know, one day. Maybe one day I'll find my soulmate, we'll do the fusion dance together, and then I'll know she's the one. Number 16. It's been memed to death. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't have anything to do with what your article says. How does it not hold up? The fact that it's memed means it does hold up. So, that's the video. It probably sucked ass. I was just rambling. But regardless, if you watched this far, I freaking love you. There's going to be another summary up tomorrow. Hunter x Hunter summaries are coming to an end, so stay tuned for that. Again, let me know what you thought of this video. If it was way too, you know, out there and I was just rambling too much, tell me. If you thought it was good, tell me. And with that being said, take it easy, and peace.